Imagine a foggy morning 2,000 years ago. The sound of armor clashing, footsteps hitting the wet ground, and a soldier who knows today might be his last. Yet something strange lies behind this moment. He chose this path willingly, because being a Roman legionary meant becoming one of the most disciplined and efficient war machines the world had ever seen. Most people think the training of a legionary was all about sword fighting and basic tactics, but the truth was far more brutal. The first stage required running nearly 30 kilometers every week in full armor, not for strength, but to forge iron discipline. Then came the wooden blocks, 6-kilogram practice weapons. Wood? Yes, because wood was heavier than a real sword. So the moment a legionary held an actual blade, it felt light as air. Even stranger, their instructors were often not retired soldiers, but former gladiators. Men who had learned to fight not by choice, but to survive. Their equipment was just as impressive. The lorica segmentata, their famous segmented armor, was designed to be light, durable, and repairable, right in the middle of battle. Their massive, curved shield, the scutum, formed a protective wall when soldiers stood together. Almost nothing could pierce it. And their short sword, the gladius, was perfect for close-quarters combat, where a single moment of hesitation meant death. But the true power of the Roman legions wasn't in their armor or weapons. It was in their tactics. Tactics so advanced that some are still taught in modern armies. The most iconic was the testudo, the tortoise formation. The front row raised their shields forward. The rows behind lifted theirs overhead, creating a moving fortress. Arrows rained down, almost useless. Legionaries also fought in short rotations, only a few minutes on the front line before being replaced by a fresh fighter. To any enemy, it felt like facing an endless, tireless army. Outside the battlefield, their lives were very different. In fact, they spent more time building than destroying. They were engineers, constructing roads, bridges, fortresses, and structures that still survive across Europe today. Their pay was higher than most professions. They could own land, start families, and once retired, received bonuses far greater than the average citizen. These were ordinary men who shaped history, yet most of their names vanished into the soil beneath our feet. But if the legions were so powerful, why did they fall? In the empire's later years, training standards declined. The brutal, disciplined routine faded. Corruption in the government led to cheaper, weaker equipment. Enemies learned to counter Roman tactics. Germanic tribes, for example, used dense forests where the legions had no advantage. Piece by piece, the unstoppable force that once shook the world collapsed from within. Today, when you look at the remains of Roman walls and ancient roads, it feels as if the echo of their footsteps still lingers between the stones. The legionaries were more than warriors. They were symbols of discipline, resilience, and the human ability to transform oneself with purpose and relentless practice.